A very good day, class, to lecture number 3 of acid, bases, and salts. We are going to continue our topic, our lesson. We studied the concentration units last time, which is grams per liter, and molarity, which is moles per liter. We are going to solve numericals based on this page number 63 table. The first sum, NaCl, sodium chloride. What are we going to do is we are going to write the atomic number of this first. I'm going to show you a small hack or trick to how to calculate the molecular mass. After writing the atomic number, we are going to multiply this atomic number by 2, or in case you should just double it. So you see the 22 of Na means sodium, and you get 17 into 2, or double of 17, which is 34. So this is nothing but the atomic masses of sodium and chlorine, and when you add this up you get 57 or 58.5 around, which is the molecular mass of sodium chloride, which is common salt, which is your value for C. I am solving table on page 63, class. Okay, now you have already got the value of C. This is the solved example. I am showing you first how you are supposed to solve the numericals related to concentration. Now 117 grams is your value for D. So further now you need to solve E, which is D upon C, which is mole, which is in mole, right? So E is equal to D upon C. So when you substitute the value, that is 117 grams, which is the value for D, divided by 58.5, the value of C, you get the answer. That is 2 moles. So E is equal to D upon C, 117 divided by 58.5 gives you answer 2 moles. Now further which, liter is already given to you, that is 2 liters. So you need to get the answer of gram per liter, that is G is equal to D upon F. D is calculated in grams and F is the liter value. F is equal to 2 liter. So let us substitute the value now. D is equal to 117 divided by 2, which is 58.5 grams per liter. After this you have two values of concentrations. You have got grams per liter. Now let us see what is molarity. Molarity is E upon F, that is moles per liter. Your E is 2 and F is also 2. So you get the value, that is 1 mole. 1 molar. Next, this example is not solved in your table, that is HCl, the second numerical. HCl, so we need to take first the atomic mass of hydrogen, that is 1, and then chlorine, which is 17. Now what are we going to do? We are going to multiply this by 2 or double it. So on multiplying 17 into 2, you get the value 34. And 1 into 2 is 2. So you need to plus it. And then you get the answer 36, which is around 37 or something, 36, that is the molecular mass. 2 and 34, mind you, are the atomic masses of H, that is hydrogen and chlorine. And 36 is the molecular mass, which is C. Now you have got C. Yes. So D is already given to you, that is 3.65 grams. So let us substitute the value now to get E, which is D upon C. The value of E is obtained by substituting D upon C, that is 3.65 divided by 36, and here you get value 0.1 mole. Your F is already given to you, that is the volume of solution is already given to you, which is 1 liter, which is nothing but your value of F. So let us substitute it further to get the answer of concentrations in grams per liter. Grams per liter, D into F. D is looked upon as grams, and liter volume of solution is already given, 3.65 divided by 1 liter, grams per liter. So furthermore you get answer 3.65. Mention the units now, grams per liter. Let us calculate for molarity now. H is equal to E upon F. Molarity is equal to moles per liter, E upon F. That is 0.1 upon 1, which gives you again 0.1 mole. That's it. Now we have already studied. So let us focus on dissociation of water. Dissociation, like water breaks into OH minus and H plus ions. OH is associated with base. When you hear OH means it is base, and H plus means acid. So water has equal number of acid and base, that is strong acid and strong base inside it. Okay, so here are some values right here. Just understand these values, you did not have to learn it. So what it says that the concentration of H plus ions at 25 degrees Celsius is 10 raised to minus 7 moles per liter. And for HCl, it is 1 into 10 raised to 0. And that for NaOH, 1 molar of NaOH, it is 1 into 10 raised to minus 14 moles per liter. These values were nothing but just the H plus concentration in aqueous solution were given by a Danish scientist Sorensen in the year 1909. You just have to remember this, okay? Okay. So there are some substances which when mixed with acids or bases, or when they react with acids or bases, they tell us that a particular substance is acidic or basic in nature. Some of the natural indicators are like turmeric or the China rose or the litmus paper which is obtained from a plant called as lichen. This lichen plant is very sensitive towards the acidic or basic environment. And because of the rising pollution, the plant is very difficult to obtain as well. So we should try that we should, reduce the pollution to our maximum level. So this litmus paper, when red litmus paper is dipped into bases, the red color changes to blue. And when blue litmus paper is dipped into acids, the color changes from blue to red. So when you get confused like which color changes to which litmus paper changes to which color and all, just remember this thing that red color is the sign of danger. So red means acids. The one which changes to red is acid. So we have a short experiment right here. I am taking washing soda, the one we use to wash clothes, turmeric powder. As I said, it is a natural indicator. And I put the turmeric powder in a ball and I mix it with the washing soda, washing powder. So you see there is a change in the color. The yellow color of the turmeric changes to brick red or blood red color. Specifically red color. Why does this happen? Because washing powder is basic in nature. So turmeric as a natural indicator shows us or tells us that this particular substance is basic in nature. Now there are several such indicators made for this. One is the universal indicator, obtained by mixing synthetic dyes, many such synthetic dyes, and a drop of which is dropped into acids or basic substances, and you obtain a certain color, and this is compared with the pH scale. Now you have your pH scale. At times the pH scale is already printed on the bottle of universal indicator. Talking about pH scale, it has two ends. One is acidic, the extreme one is strong acids, and extreme end is strong bases, and middle part is the neutral. So it tells you how much acidic or basic substances or even the neutral. A more specific one to measure pH of a substance is the pH meter. pH stands for potential hydrogen. So it calculates the H plus ion, and this pH meter gives you perfect reading when dipped into acidic or basic or neutral solutions. Now we will perform an experiment over here. I'm going to take a glass rod, dip it in the beaker full of hydrochloric acid, HCl, and put it on the pH paper. Then again I'm going to take the glass rod and dip it inside a beaker which has sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, and put it again on that pH paper. So what do we observe? We observe that the pH paper shows green color. How is that so? If you see that acid, you see the range shows, pH paper shows red or orange or yellowish color. And if it is basic, that is NaOH is basic, so it should have shown purple or blue color, but it shows green color which is neutral. What is this reaction we are going to study now? Now we took HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, NaOH means sodium hydroxide, which is the base. So the reaction states as, see, you have H over here and you have OH. 2 means you have 2H and 1 O, that is H2O, which is water, as we know. Then what is left? Sodium Na is left and Cl, chloride, is left, which means you get NaCl, salt. So you get salt and you get water. On reaction of acid and bases, you know that HCl is strong acid and sodium hydroxide is strong base. So when acid reacts with base, it gives you salt and water. Remember this thing. And this reaction is called as neutralization reaction, and that's why our pH paper showed neutral, means green color, because this was the neutralization reaction. This is the neutral salt. We are going to study later the types of salt. Next, we will solve this reactions given. You have HNO3, which is acid, blank space, and then you have KNO3 and you have water, right? So what is this blank space? Let us find out. You have your K. Yeah, let us fill this with K. What is left now? There is O in the reaction, means OH, KOH is there. So that is potassium hydroxide, which is the base. So you have your acid, which is HNO3, nitric acid, reacting with base, gives you salt and water. Another type of reaction, neutralization reaction. Let us solve another example. You have a blank space. Again you have KOH, that is the potassium hydroxide base, to give you KBr, which is a type of salt. And since this is neutralization reaction, you have a blank space, but you know this is neutralization reaction, that you are bound to write your H2O. Remaining product is always H2O. You have your salt and water. Now let's find out what is remaining. You have your base as well, acid is remaining. Now what is the acid? You have your Br, which is bromine. Hydrogen is not there, hydrogen will be the acid. So you have HBr as the acid. So acid, base gives you salt and water. That is another type of reaction. Okay, so let us stop here. That's all, folks. Please keep referring your textbooks. We will study many types of reactions next time, including acid with reaction with metals, non-metals, water of crystallization, types of salts, and many such things. Keep studying and referring textbooks. Thank you so much.